I thought 30 was the year that it would all come together for me. New marriage, new job, a real career path for the first time in my life. Felt like I was finally stepping into adulthood the right way. But looking back now, almost 10 years after the fact, I see it all so entirely differently. That year, I didn't just start building a life. I started abandoning myself. Trading in the parts of me that felt useless for the ones that looked good on paper. I didn't even realize I was doing it. So if you're 30 or anywhere near it, there's something that I need to tell you before you take another step. Because I've spent the past 10 years living out the consequences of what I didn't know back then. So it's the beginning of January 2015, and I'm standing on the front porch of our little Nashville apartment after a meeting I'd had at a coffee shop. I exhale deeply and follow the visible trail of steam as my breath leaves my body. I've just landed my first real job in the city as a web developer. It actually feels like the beginning of a real adult career, I'm newly married now and we're renting. No kids yet, but it's all starting to take shape for us. I should feel proud, and I do, for the most part. But underneath all that momentum, there is pressure. Like I'm already behind. Back where we're from, our friends have all bought houses. They've all had babies. We'd started from absolute zero, having moved to Nashville back in 2009, about 6 years earlier, with one paycheck in the bank and no family or connections within hundreds of literal miles. I tell myself that this pressure is the cost of our dreams, but deep down it feels more like a test. And much of my life, even before this moment, if I'm honest, has been filled with tests. I've been passing tests for as long as I can remember. So I'm determined to pass this one too, by becoming someone useful. The songwriting dream that brought me to the city originally didn't really work out. It was too intimidating to even really try, so I bury it. And I've begun to write a new story for myself. One where I'm the provider, the stabilizer, the one who hits all the marks. And I do everything I'm supposed to do. Build the savings, buy the house, bring home the dog, have the baby, one milestone after another. But year after year, I feel further from myself because no one told me that success without alignment just becomes a more polished version of self-abandonment. Here's what no one tells you when you're entering adulthood. You are always manifesting your circumstances. Not necessarily with vision boards or meditation, but with the story you believe about what life has to be. The story I was telling without even knowing it was this: if I want the life I dream of, I have to suffer for it. So that's exactly what I did. I filled my schedule, I created all these invisible pressures. I felt guilty resting, guilty for dreaming, because somewhere inside I believed this is the cost. The wild thing is that it worked. I got the career, the house, the family. But I also got the burnout, the anxiety, the slow erosion of who I really was. Because I didn't just manifest my dreams, I manifested the terms of those dreams. And no one ever told me I was allowed to choose different terms. So here's what I wish I could tell my 30-year-old self. You get to choose your story. Not just where you're headed, but how the journey feels along the way. You don't need to suffer to succeed. You don't need to prove that you're worthy. You already are. You always were. So today, right now, I want you to try something simple. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what story have I been living by Because once you see the story, you can change it. And the next 10 years, they don't have to look like the last. You are the author. And this is your next chapter. If that landed for you, please drop a comment for me and tell me the story that you've been carrying. Let's unpack those old narratives together. Maybe we can start writing new ones. And if you've ever felt like you've lost touch with who you really are, like your creativity or your clarity has gone quiet, there's a video I want you to watch next. It's not about chasing your purpose. It's about returning to the place that's always been waiting. I'll meet you there. Thanks for watching.